Hello, my name is Carolyn Nichol, and I'm a certified holistic nutritionist. In fact, I will be yours for at least the next 30 days. Today, we're going to go through the program called New Start. It's an acronym, and every letter means something. Nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, tea, time with God, time to de-stress. So I hope you're ready, because we're going to go through the program. The amazing thing is that these 8 laws of health do something incredible. You see, whenever we're experiencing health issues, whenever disease is starting to set in, basically, if you look at this New Start checklist, you would see that these 8 laws of health, whenever we're seeing diseases come in, is because one or more of these 8 laws of health has been broken time after time, and eventually it starts to show itself. There's something you need to know. There is no magic nutrient. There's no one supplement out there that's going to bring healing to your body. The truth is that your body was designed by our Creator to heal itself. And so when you can every single day say, yes, I got in my nutrition, I got my exercise, I drank my water, every single day, when you can check off this list mentally, something amazing will happen. Your body will go back into balance. You see, the Creator created this program so that your body can get the simplistic things that it needs. Now today we're going to go through all of them. We are going to spend a little bit more time on nutrition, because most of us will understand or do understand about exercise and water and all the other laws, but not everybody understands how the human body works. So that's what I want to explain to you today, at least a little bit of it. I don't know how many of you have heard of this amazing word called homeostasis. It's a pretty big word. Basically, in layman's terms, it means balance. Homeostasis is the law that governs the entire human body. You see, your body knows naturally how much water, how much blood pressure, how much vitamin B, and how much vitamin D it needs, and it tries to keep those levels all day long. Incredible, without you even thinking about it. Now the thing is if any of those are off, your body will rob, steal, or destroy from itself in order to protect its most important organs first. A great example of this is water. If you are not, for any reason, drinking enough water, your body, say you're outside, it's really hot, and you don't have a place where you can get water. Your body is made up of just over 65% water, but your brain, it's 75% water. So if you continue to go along your merry day and you're not drinking enough water, a few things will happen. Because your body needs that water in order to keep the heart pumping and keep you alive, it will start to steal water. Since the brain's 75% water, it'll start to take it from your head, and then you will notice you're getting a headache. The other places it could take it from is your bowels, and so if you're not drinking enough water through the day, you might experience constipation sometimes because your water will steal that from the bowels because it really doesn't care so much that you're constipated or get a headache. What matters is that your heart keeps pumping. But then you can see that eventually other problems, diseases, and illnesses start to creep in. So our job here to make sure that your homeostasis levels are back into order and that your body's not robbing, stealing, and destroying, but that we can put everything back into balance so that your body can find the issues and heal itself. Now, there are 2 things that really interfere with homeostasis. Number 1 is the amount of toxins that are in our human body. The other one is our body's pH balance. Now, if you're simply breathing, you're taking in toxins. Toxins are everywhere. They're in the air we breathe, they're in the food we eat, they're in the supplements we take, they're especially in the medications we take. Now, an amazing thing that we've been created with is a liver. this fantastic organ that filters most all of the toxins out. Your skin is another detox organ, and so try to get all of the toxins out through there as well. But here's the reality, the truth of the matter, is that most of us have a lineup at our liver. Most of us have more toxins than our body can actually filter out. So when that happens, our body will do something. It will take those extra toxins that don't have time yet to go through the liver because it's very busy doing other things. And it will take those toxins and store them in our fat cells. Heavy or thin, we've all got an amount of fat in our body. Now, although that's the safest place in the human body to put toxins, what happens is daily, those toxins will seep out of those fat cells and directly into your bloodstream. So while your body's doing its path of going through the veins and arteries all day long, those toxins are like garbage strewn on the path. So it takes more energy, takes more time, and it causes a whole heap of issues in your bloodstream when there's so many toxins in the way. So you see, it's very important that through this program, we are trying to give you foods and a program that will detoxify you, as well as eliminate toxins that are already in your system. The other thing that's very important to understand is your body's pH balance. I don't know if any of you know what your body's human body pH balance is, but it's about 7.34. That is alkaline for your human body. Your blood loves to be at 7.34. Anything below that, and your blood becomes acidic. Acidic blood is dangerous blood. That is where disease will grow. We do not want acidic blood. See, in acidic blood, that's where cholesterol will grow and diabetes will grow and high blood pressure will grow in acidic blood, and especially viruses and tumors and cancers. So if we want to have a good, clean system, we need to make sure that our blood is alkaline. It's staying at that 7.34. Now, there are a few food items, quite a few actually, that will create a lot of toxins in our system and make our blood acidic every single time we consume them. But there are three main food categories that I want to point out to you today. The first one is all animal products. All animal flesh food, all animal protein will create an enormous amount of toxins in the human body. 40% of it is waste in the human body. Now that includes fish, chicken, beef, pork. It doesn't matter. If it comes from something with a face on it and it's an animal protein, it will create an enormous amount of toxins in the human body. The other thing too is that while it's digesting, because of those toxins, it makes our blood very acidic. You see, whenever animal protein is being digested, although it goes through the stomach, that's not where digestion happens. It needs to go through the small intestines, which are like 20 feet long. They're really, really long. And the reason being is because there's a transition time for food. Every single thing you eat needs to be taken apart molecule by molecule. And protein is so molecularly bound that it takes the body so long to take it apart. Now, while it's trying to take it apart, that could be 24 hours or even more. Have you ever seen meat in a warm environment for more than 24 hours? That's correct. It begins to putrefy and rot. And that is part of the reason why 40% of it is waste in the human body, because as it's digesting, it is putrefying, and your body's trying to get rid of all those dangerous toxins. It taxes the liver and the kidneys every single day. It's called uric acid. It's what makes our urine yellow. So it's very important through this program that we are not eating animal flesh food. But don't worry. There's going to be plenty of plant-based wonderful meals that you will love and enjoy. So here's the thing. It's not just what you're eating, but how you're eating that's also very important. Digestion is key. You see, if your body cannot take apart the nutrients out of the food, then we just can't use that to heal the issues in the human body. So it's very important that you understand that inside your stomach, that is where food gets turned up into something called chyme. You have wonderful enzymes, hydrochloric acid, really, really, really strong stuff that are in the linings of your stomach. Now, once food enters the stomach, it's just getting churned to something called chyme. Then it gets pushed through the valve into the small intestines that you can see here. Once in the small intestines, that's when food gets taken apart molecule by molecule, taking out the iron or the vitamin B12 and packaging it up, sending it to the liver and wherever it has to go. So if the food, when it goes inside your small intestines, has not been digested properly, then those nutrients cannot be used. So a few things are very, very important. When we eat our food, the hydrochloric comes out, really strong stuff, and it comes out to digest all of that food, liquefying it. Now, if you're eating something and then you drink at the same time, something terrible happens. All of that liquid dilutes the enzymes, and then it's like this swishing thing that happens inside your stomach where the enzymes are trying to catch the food, but there's too much liquid and it just doesn't work. So it's very, very important that while we're eating, we never drink at the same time. You never want to liquefy the gut while it's trying to digest food. When you eat the food, you will wait 1 hour and then you will sip, 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 sip on your water. The program is designed to give you larger meals. You have a very big breakfast, a very big lunch, and a very light dinner. The reason being is that your body was designed to digest and have a full, at least 75% full stomach. Each meal should last you approximately 5 hours. So when you wake up in the morning, and don't you worry, none of this has to be memorized. Everything is written out in the folders for you. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you're going to do is have a glass of warm water with lemon juice. Fresh squeezed lemon, about a half a lemon in a cup, put some cold water on that, and then splash it with some hot water. You're going to drink that very quickly. Take that down as quick as you can. That wonderful lemon water is going to detoxify the liver, flush out the kidneys, and leave some lemon residue in the stomach to wake up your enzymes. A wonderful cleanse every morning, which I hope you'll do for the rest of your life. After you have had that water, you have to wait 15 minutes. That is pretty key because after 15 minutes, that's how long it takes for water to leave the stomach lining. So after 15 minutes, then you will have another glass of warm water, which you can sip on. A great time to go sit at the Creator's feet and have your devotional. After you've had that last sip of water, you wait 15 minutes and then you get into breakfast. Breakfast and every meal in this program will always start with the raw food first. I hope you will always remember that, and it's written in your folders. But you need that raw food. It has natural enzymes in it, lots of oxygen. It helps with digestion. So always make sure that hits your stomach first before the cooked food. So breakfast comes. You're going to have 2 to 3 fresh fruits first. Now, if it's something like pineapples, grapes, or berries, that's 1 cup. So you're going to have 2 to 3 servings or 2 to 3 cups of fruit. That's a lot of fruit, but that's all the fruit that you'll consume for the day. As soon as that is finished, you'll move on to your whole grains. I put some porridge recipes in your folder. If you're not a porridge fan, you could talk to me about that after and we'll figure out something for you. But you want your breakfast to be a nice whole grain breakfast and mix it up. There's lots of recipes in your folder. After you've had that whole grain porridge, and by the way, you can sweeten that with maybe some raisins or some dates. You can add a handful of nuts to your breakfast. In fact, I encourage you to do that. We're not putting condensed milk or brown sugar. We're just going to use a plant-based milk like almond. So you will have this wonderful breakfast that is fit for a king or queen. After you've had that breakfast, you are going to wait how long? Right, 1 hour. And then you're just going to sip, sip, sip your water. You can wait 1 to 2 hours, but never sooner than 1 hour. So that's when you will just sip, 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 sip your water for the next 4 hours until you're hungry again. Now here's what I'm going to tell you, is that your meal should last you 5 hours. If after 3 hours you notice that you're really hungry, that means you didn't eat enough. If after 6 hours you notice that I'm never going to be hungry for lunch, that means you made way too much food and ate too much. So the next day, just do better. So we've sipped our water, lunchtime comes, we're starting to feel hungry. That's great. Have your last sip of water and then wait 15 minutes and now lunch comes. Your lunch is going to be dinner, maybe even supersized. You are always going to start every day with a raw leafy green salad. Unless I've made exceptions for you, you could put whatever raw vegetables you want in that salad. Lots of leafy greens. And in your folder, you have some dressings. I want your dressings to only be with the base of lemon or lime, no vinegars, okay? And you can mix them with olive oil. Again, the recipes are in your folder. And you can load your salads with dressing or not. If you don't like them, that's fine. Enjoy your salad. After your salad, then you're going to have cooked food. Right after, don't wait. So I've put some recipes in your folder to get you started. Basically, everybody starts with the same recipes, but if you need more recipes, you let me know. I have an unlimited supply of recipes. These recipes are there to get you started, and basically, you're going to use plant-based protein, so beans, lentils, those types of things as your protein. Plus, always add some steamed leafy greens. Orange vegetables are wonderful. And then you need your good carbohydrates. So, ground provisions, all those things are games. You can have your sweet potato, your squash. If you're going to use white potatoes, leave the skins on. You can use your brown rice, your quinoa, your cashew, your millet. All of these are wonderful whole grains. So eat them and eat them well. But here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're trying to lose weight, you're going to want to lighten up on the yams and the potatoes and the brown rice, and you're going to want to increase and use quinoas, squashes, sweet potatoes instead as your carbohydrates. If you're trying to maintain your weight or gain weight, you're going to want to make sure that you add plenty of yams and brown rice and your potatoes. Hopefully that makes sense. You are going to wait 1 to 2 hours before you drink your water. Then you will sip, sip, sip your water until dinner time comes. And when dinner time comes, you are not going to be very hungry because you had all this food. Here's the thing. Around 5 o'clock, most of us, our metabolism starts to slow down. So anything we eat after 5, even if it's 5:30 and seems like an early dinner, anything we eat after 5 will take almost twice as long to digest than it would if we ate it at 2 o'clock. So if we eat a big meal after 5 o'clock, the thing is that we end up sleeping on it because it takes so much longer to digest. And when you're sleeping, that's when your body's supposed to repair and heal. It's not busy on the computer. It's not talking on the phone. It's not cleaning up the house. It's sleeping. Now, I know that some of you have explained to me that you do have some sleep problems, and that's fine. As we go through the program, they'll get figured out. But in the evening, because you've had so much food, that's when you're going to have your lightest meal. Now, truthfully, I don't even eat after 2 o'clock in the evening. I'm not hungry at all. I have a cup of chamomile or peppermint tea, and then I'm off to bed about an hour later. If you are hungry in the evening, you can have something small, a little salad. There's also a green smoothie inside your folders, something very, very light that will digest quickly so that when you're sleeping, your body's repairing, not digesting. Digestion requires the most energy of the human body. So when you're sleeping, you don't want it using all that energy to digest. You want it using its energy to heal and repair with all the food that you have eaten through the day. And here's the thing, is that a lot of people will say, but I'm not hungry for these big breakfasts in the morning, Carolyn. How's that going to work? I'll tell you how it will work. When your last big meal of the day was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you will wake up hungry. The reason why most of us do not feel like having breakfast in the morning is because we're having big meals at night and then we go to sleep and we wake up and dinner just left or it's still digesting. So when you've had your biggest meal in the afternoon, when you wake up, you will be hungry. You'll have your lemon water, you'll wait 15 minutes, you'll have your warm water, you'll wait 15 minutes, and you will be ready for this wonderful big breakfast and you will enjoy it. Remember again that plant food, all plant food is game. So have a handful of nuts with your breakfast, a handful of nuts or seeds with your lunch. You can even use avocados. All these things are wonderful. Just keep them within your meals and not snacking. What will happen is that your metabolism will begin to regulate. If it was very fast, it will slow down. If it was too slow, it'll pick up. And because you're having bigger fibrous meals, you end up having bigger bowel movements, full ones, which are healthy ones. So that is how the nutrition aspect works. So we've covered the food portion, but I want you to understand that digestion, of course, is key, but all of us have this great brain inside our bodies that tell our digestive system what to do. The nervous system is made up both of the brain and the spinal cord. That's why it's very important that you do get your chiropractic adjustments if you can, as well as we need to feed and nourish the brain. So important. So a couple things I need you to understand is that stress, caffeine, they wreak havoc on the nervous system. You could put meat, dairy, and sugar together and eat them all at the same time. They will never do as much damage on your human body as stress. I'm very serious about that. Stress will kill you. Now, I do not have a supplement or a food nutrient to give you that will help take away your stress. Only Jesus. I'm really praying that as you're going through this program, it's not just a food journey, but it's a spiritual journey for you to reconnect with your Savior and truly leave your issues at His feet. Because I have to tell you, if you are stressed out, or even if you're not sleeping very much or giving yourself very few hours of sleep, your body will go into stress trying to keep you awake through the day. So it's very, very important, because any kind of healing that we're trying to do with food and exercise and all of that will be reversed if you continue to have a lot of stress in your life. I want you to look at the brain here for a minute. You see, there's this picture of this myelin sheath. The myelin sheath is the fatty tissue that wraps up all the nerves of your brain. Very, very important. When there's too much stress in our life, or when we're eating foods with lots of toxins, that myelin sheath gets eaten away. It starts to look degenerated. This picture is where the Alzheimer's, dementia, those things are setting in. We no longer also have the ability to deal with stress. We can't think, memory loss. Very important that we keep our myelin sheath nice and plump and full of the right fatty acids. And the beauty is that again, our body can heal and repair. All that good fat that wraps up that myelin sheath, that's your avocados, that's your nuts, not roasted and salted. That's your olive oil, your coconut oil, that's your ground flax seeds. That's all of those good fats, your olives that go to help repair that, as well as your B vitamins, which are found in all of your whole grains, all of your beans. You can see it's the plant-based diet that truly brings the healing to the human body. So as you go through this program, I am really praying that you also will learn to leave your stress, your problems at the Creator's feet. And also, the caffeine is noted there. We can't have anything with caffeine. Caffeine wreaks havoc on the human body, especially in the nervous system, and it messes up the frontal lobe. And that's where the Creator speaks to you. So that means no black tea, no white tea, no green tea, no chocolate. I do realize I'm pulling all the wonderful things out of your diet, but don't worry, we'll get through this together. So here's how the program works. First of all, you will choose a start date. Isn't that wonderful? You don't have to leave here and start tomorrow. You can go and finish your ice cream and eat the last piece of chicken in your fridge. When you are ready to start, I want you to look over the program. You're going to let me know your start date. But before you begin, I would love for you to do a little bit of a detox. Of course, the entire program is to help detoxify you. But before you begin, I'd like you to do a little bit of a more intense detox just for a couple days. 2 days. Now, the reason why I'm going to say 2 days is because what you're going to do on this detox is you're going to either just eat raw foods for 2 days. Now, that's going to be a lot more than 2 meals a day. You probably will eat 3 or 4 times through the day, and that's fine. So when I say raw foods, I mean that you'll just have maybe a bunch of fruits for breakfast. A few hours later, of course, you'll drink your water in between. A few hours later, maybe a few more fruits. In the afternoon, maybe you have a big salad, but no nuts, no avocado, no olive oil. We're just going to keep it to raw. Doesn't mean you have to crunch on broccoli all day long. You can just use your salads, tomatoes, cucumbers. Those are simple, but just eating raw fruits and vegetables for 2 days. Now, if you have a vegetable juicer, then you can pull that out And you could just juice vegetables for 2 days. So every time you're hungry, you just juice some vegetables, you drink it, water between those meals. Do not juice your fruits. You can also do a mix of the two. You can have fruits in the morning and then just juice vegetables for the rest of the day. But either way, please let me know which fast you're deciding to do, because I need to send you some information to do that. This is what's going to happen. After 24 hours of fasting or creating a caloric deficit in your system, your body will just begin to store food, store your energy. Once you pass that 24 hours and you move to the 48 hours, your body will go into starvation mode and it will start to burn fat to keep you alive. That's a beautiful thing. Remember we talked about in the beginning that your extra toxins are stored in your fat cells. So once your body's burning all that fat, it's actually releasing toxins, and you are just flushing yourself with lots of liquids that day, and you are going to give yourself a really good detox before you start. So that's what I want you to do to begin the program. Now, it's very important that you go through this program for the full 45 days. The reason being is that 45 days is really key. After you've been on the program for 45 days, you're going to get a second body scan. Once you get that second body scan, it's going to tell us how well you've done over this program. I will get the results, you will get it too, and then I'll give you a maintenance program, because our hope is that this is not just going to be a 45-day program, but it will be an absolute lifestyle change. And we'll be able to give you your maintenance program so that you can continue on the new start for our hope the rest of your life. Again, remember, it's 2 large meals, a light third. Inside your folders, you're going to have a foods to focus on list. Pay close attention to that. There's going to be some supplements and some other things on there that you're going to need. As well as I mentioned, I'm going to give you some recipes to start with. Those recipes are just there to start. You can begin after that to create your own vegan meals if you start to get the hang of it, or just call me, email me, text me. I will send you more recipes, even leave them at the office for you to pick up, whatever you need. And remember also that there's a new start checklist in there. That is very important. I need you to memorize that checklist, so every day you're saying, did I do the nutrition? Did I eat the way I was supposed to? Did I get my exercise? Start to memorize that acronym. Make it a way of life for you so that your body can go back into balance. Now, we finished the nutrition part. We're just going to breeze through the rest. Not that any of these are any less important, because all of them have equal weight. But most of us do understand and know about exercise and water and the rest. So exercise. Very, very, very important. You will not be able to be at the gym every day. If you are, that's fantastic. But if you can't, I need you to make sure you are going outside and getting 30 minutes at least to an hour of vigorous walking every day. Now, I'm not talking about going out and walking the dog, but I need you to get your arms moving, put your head up, move those legs as fast as they can before they're going to break out into a run. But don't run, just walk really, really fast. Get that heart pumping. Do that every single day. Exercise increases the oxygen uptake. And as you increase more oxygen in the body, your body heals and repairs, because that's what oxygen does. It helps with digestion. Exercise pumps your lymph system, so it makes your immune system very, very strong. Exercise has got to be the fountain of youth. It keeps you young, it keeps your body in shape, it keeps your limbs nice and pliable. So as well as doing your walk, also try to do some body exercises at home, whether you're lifting weights or doing push-ups or sit-ups, but do something every single day. The next acronym we have is W, which is water. Water is so important. It flushes the system. It keeps your blood nice and thin. You have high blood pressure, drink more water. It will lower the blood pressure. It keeps your face clear. Water is really incredible. It is probably like the miracle drink. Now remember, we're drinking water between meals, not with our meals. And please, when you're drinking your water between your meals, don't put lemon and cucumbers and cilantro and all of these things inside your water. Make it plain, clear water. And if you have questions about the type of water you should drink, you could just ask me that personally. I just want to make sure that you're drinking your water. Lemon in the morning, the rest of the day you're going to focus on just pure water and slow it down at night so that you're not drinking so much water that it keeps you up at night. Sunshine. Sunshine is the feel-good vitamin. Very important that every day, yes, even in the winter, you are outside getting your sunshine in. When that sunshine hits your skin, it actually turns your cholesterol to vitamin D. So if you're having any high cholesterol problems, remember that that sunshine will help get rid of that cholesterol. And on the note of cholesterol, I do want you to understand if you are experiencing any high cholesterol, cholesterol is created in animals. We are an animal, so we create our own cholesterol. In fact, we create all the cholesterol that our body needs. So if you are experiencing high cholesterol, just take a little mental check of your diet. Because if you're eating animals, then you are getting their cholesterol. Because remember, all animals produce cholesterol. So you have enough. You take the animals, you eat them. Now you get their cholesterol. And so that builds and builds and builds. And that's how we end up with high cholesterol. But here's the thing. I have met vegetarians, vegans, that have high cholesterol. Why is that? You see, whenever your body goes into stress, and here I'm going to stress the stress again. Whenever your body goes into stress, that is so toxic that your body will actually produce more cholesterol to buffer your system so that those stress chemicals don't eat away at your cell walls. I hope that makes sense to you. If you are vegan, you don't eat any animal products at all, but you have high cholesterol, take a mental note of how much stress you have in your life, or if you're not sleeping enough, because your body will produce cholesterol to deal and to help buffer the stress chemicals. So make sure you are getting your sunshine vitamin. You know, you have a pineal gland right at the back of behind your eyes. Whenever that sunshine goes through your eyes, it stimulates the pineal gland and it releases those good endorphins, the same wonderful healing endorphins that you get when you're exercising. So make sure you're getting your sunshine at least 15 minutes, but it should be an hour every day. And that even in the winter, you have at least your hands and your face exposed to the sunshine for a minimum of 15 minutes. T is for temperance. Nobody likes this slide, but it's very important. But I do want you to understand that temperance is keeping from that which harms, but also moderation with things that are good. So I don't want you going out and buying a whole bag of nuts and eating that, or having a whole avocado at a time. Remember, it's a quarter piece of avocado if it's big, half at the most if it's small. But for the next 45 days, and I hope for the rest of your life, you stay away from dairy, meat, fish, pop, juice, tea, coffee, alcohol, sugar, and late night snacks. So if you have any questions about those things, you can ask me personally, but those will not be on the program, again, for the 45 days and hopefully for the rest of your life. Fresh air, hugely important. Remember, we talked about how oxygen heals and repairs. So yes, even in this polluted world, we can still get fresh air. But here's the thing, is that most of us do shallow breathing throughout the day. So there's all this stale air in our lungs. It's very important that every day, ideally after you've been out for your nice good walk, you do this deep breathing technique. Now this is not a yoga technique. This was actually from a Christian doctor who actually recently died, but she prescribed this to all of her patients, and it helps in a huge way. What I'd like you to do is, after you've been outside, you make sure you do this deep breathing. You breathe in for 4, and when you breathe in, your stomach should go out. So after you breathe in for 4, you hold it just for a couple seconds, and then you breathe out for 12. All the way till you get to 12. Then you breathe in for 5, you hold it, and you breathe out for 15. You breathe in for 6, you hold it, you breathe out for 20, you breathe in for 7, you hold it, you breathe out for 25. The last one, you breathe in for 8, you hold it, you breathe out for 30 or as far as you can go. And then when you get to that 30, you'll have like nothing left in your lungs. You just spit out the last of the air. Take a deep breath in and all your troubles just fly away because you feel so good. So take a few deep breaths. Make sure you're beside a tree or some grass, not beside your car warming up in the morning. But make sure you do that every single day. If you're having a stressful moment, just go outside, do the deep breathing. It will infuse your system with a fresh supply of oxygen. Remember, oxygen heals and repairs. It helps with digestion. It's just going to make you feel so good. So make sure you do not miss that aspect. Remember, these are all of equal weight. R, we're getting to the end now. This is very important, probably the most neglected of all the other aspects of the New Start program. But rest is so important. We as adults need 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep every single night. Remember, when you're sleeping, your body's healing and repairing. Now, if you're having any trouble with sleep, I've added some things inside your folder through your plan so that you can help aid your sleep. But I'm pretty sure that as you go and you lighten up the meals in the evenings, you increase your exercise, you have your fresh air, you will notice that something really amazing will happen and your body will start to go back into taking nice, deep, restful sleeps. Please remember, your room should be absolutely dark as possible. There should be absolutely no noise. I'm serious about that. If you're sleeping with somebody that snores, consider wearing earplugs when you're sleeping. It needs to be quiet. Your window slightly open, even through the winter, if that's at all possible. Your rest needs to be wonderful so that you can get that 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Now the last, but definitely not the least, is T, which means time with God. If there's any one part of this New Start program that's more important than the rest, I'm going to say it's this one. Because you can eat as healthy as you want. You can exercise, you can get your fresh air, you can do all of those things. But if you don't know God and His healing power, He created you. He made you fearfully and wonderfully. It is His healing hand that needs to be upon your life. So I really encourage you as you go through this meal journey, this exercise journey, this entire journey of New Start, that you will also take hold of your King, sit at His feet, make this a spiritual journey. I'm going to tell you that bitterness, anger, resentment, unforgiveness, all of those things will eat away at you worse than terrible food can. So I really encourage you, spend some time in the Word every single day. May that be your first meal of the morning. And may you hold on to the Creator's hand, because you know you're going to need it through this program as you go through this entire New Start journey. And know that we will all be praying for your success, because you will need some prayers to get through it, that's for sure. But as your nutritionist and our whole team here, I will be here to be with you every step of the journey. Now remember, you need to let me know when you're beginning, but here are first of all some ground rules. First of all, no snacking. Make sure you're having your big breakfast, eat it all together, wait an hour to 2, then drink your water, and then move on to your lunch. So no snacking between meals. As well, you drink before and after, never, ever, ever with your meals. So that's very, very important. Remember that it's a plant-based diet. So because it's a plant-based diet, all plant food are game. But here's what I want you to know, is that there's tons of veggie nuggets out there and vegetarian meat and all this veggie ground beef and vegan cheese. I would like you to stay far away from that. All of those soy foods and those wheat foods are really, really hard on the digestive system. So let's keep it to plant foods, okay? We're going to have our beans, our greens, our legumes. Here's the other thing that you need to know is that wheat and corn, of course, are plant food, but they're so genetically modified that they cause so much issues in the system. Soy is okay in the form of tofu. Just use an organic tofu or one that's non-genetically modified, which you can find in any regular grocery store for very inexpensive. You can talk to me if you need some more questions on that. But I would like you to put the wheat and the corn away at least for the 45 days until we can help heal and repair your digestive system. And then you will notice the difference if you try to introduce it back, and you will be able to judge how much you can handle. But the truth is that wheat and corn are so genetically modified today that they are very, very, very hard to digest. So please, even 100% whole wheat, bread, whole wheat pasta, anything made with wheat flour, I want you to stay away from as much as possible. Even myself, I have a hard time digesting it. I just don't include it in my diet today. Also, important to know, do not mix your fruits and vegetables. You can have plenty of fruits in the morning, but fruits and vegetables digest very differently. And there's a lot more nutrients and antioxidants and all those cancer-fighting power inside your vegetables than there are fruits. Although fruits are very healthy for you, which is why we're letting you have 2 to 3 fruits in the morning. But focus your day on vegetables. But do not put a banana in a green smoothie or have an apple on your salad or eat fruit for dessert after you've had your lunch. Fruits are kept to the morning, and focus on vegetables through the rest of the day. And remember, every day there must be a salad at lunch. In the evening, you can have a light salad too if you like. In the morning, your raw food is fruits. Fruits and vegetables digest differently, so do not combine them. And stay in touch with me, please. I'm going to be calling you at least every 2 weeks just to check in and see how you're doing. If I get your voicemail and leave you a message, even if you went through McDonald's drive-thru, please call me back. We'll get through it. We'll get you back on the program, but definitely stay in touch with me. So at this time, you can look through your meal plan, or if you're going to get it at a later date on your next visit, I'd like you to look through it. Everything we talked about, there's some frequently asked questions in there, and then give me a call. We'll go over the supplements. We'll make sure you're prepared and ready to start this amazing journey. And I want to tell you that you have made an investment into this program. And this has got to be the best investment you've made in your entire life. We spend so much money on houses and cars, and none of that will last. All of it starts to fall apart. But our human bodies, of course, they're not made to live forever. But our health is all that we have. Growing old is inevitable. There's nothing wrong with growing old. In fact, it's wonderful to grow old. But staying young is up to each one of us. I want to be 80 years old and feeding myself and walking myself and remembering who's in front of me. And I'm sure you do too. But if we continue to eat the way that we want and live this lifestyle where we're not moving and exercising, our body will shut down before it needs to. Your health is in your hands. And with the Creator's help and on this New Start program, which I believe was truly invented by Him, I know that you can take charge of your health and you can feel young and look good at any age. I'm so excited to be part of this journey with you. So please, my phone number's in your folders. Give me a call as soon as you can after you've seen this presentation. We'll get you ready to get started on this journey, which I hope will be for the rest of your life. Don't forget to call me. Remember, I need to hold your hand through this entire journey. Take care and have a great day.